We're going to now talk about cardiovascular program design. 4 things need to be considered in designing your program: the mode, the intensity, the duration, and the rate of progression. The mode is the type of exercise that you are going to be doing. Intensity, how hard are you going to be doing it? Duration, how long? And rate of progress, when are you going to change either the mode, the intensity, or the duration? Here's some guidelines for cardiovascular exercise. I mentioned this at the beginning of the chapter, but I want to reiterate. Must be at least 20 minutes in length, 3 to 5 days a week, 4 to 5 days, depending on what your guide is, following the 3 progression stages. Now, you could have someone that comes to you already trained. No, you do not need to start them in the initial conditioning stage, but you will want to do some sort of an assessment to find out what level of fitness they are at. And based on those, of course, you want to adjust the rate of progression. You want to adjust your prescription based on who your client is. 3 phases to any cardiovascular training program. If you've ever been to a group exercise class, that's your class right there. You always start with a warm-up. You'll go into your conditioning phase where the work is done and finish with a cool down. I'm going to break up these 3 parts and talk about what is done, the purpose for them, so you don't feel the need to skip them. Now the warm-up, you are preparing the muscles, the body. Remember, the heart's a muscle too, for the conditioning phase. The conditioning phase is where you're actually trying to improve. So general guidelines for your warm-up, 5 to 10 minutes. When we get into special populations, certain groups will require different types of activities and different lengths of time. Now, why do you need to warm up? If you remember from exercise physiology, we talked about the different energy systems that kick in. If you go in and just start going full steam, running on the treadmill, and you came from rest and you just take off, you haven't given your body a chance to catch up. And by body, I'm really referring to your energy systems. Your heart, your lungs, they are going to be on fire because your muscles are demanding all of this energy, the oxygen. And so your head will want to stop because it will be very aware of the fatigue that it's experiencing. So benefits to the warm-up: to reduce the risk of injury to the muscles and joints by increasing the extensibility of the connective tissue. I think we all know that that means you need to get the joints lubed up, you need to get your muscles softened. Improve joint range of motion and function, improve the muscle performance, and to prevent potential injury. Nobody wants to get hurt at the very beginning. They just got started. So you can prevent that by slowly moving the body into each phase. Now the conditioning phase, the whole point. It's performed at a more intense level than the warm-up or the cool-down. If you can't kick it up a notch, then your warm-up was too intense. So you want to design this conditioning phase based on the exercise prescription. What is the point? What are they trying to accomplish? What have they started with? And what do they like to do? In the conditioning phase is where intensity and duration are applied. Your warm-up is always going to be the same length. You will not vary the intensity in your warm-up because what you're trying to do is just get your body moving. So you don't want to do any work towards the goal in the warm-up phase. Now the cool down, that's to transition from conditioning back to a resting level. In a detrained client, reaching a resting level is going to take a lot longer. And in certain individuals with disease states, hypertension, hypocholesterolemia, coronary artery disease, getting that heart rate slowed down before they move into something else can actually save their life. So general guidelines for the cool down, strangely similar to the warm-up. 5 to 10 minutes. You may need to cool down longer depending on how intense the exercise actually was, but pretty much 5 to 10 minutes is a good rule of thumb. Now the benefits to this are a lot more physiological than the warm-up was, but you want to prevent post-exercise venous blood pooling and too rapid of a drop in blood pressure. When someone's blood pressure drops rapidly, they pass out. You want to reduce the immediate post-exercise tendency for spasming or cramping. You need to get that biological waste out of the body. So slowing down the movement, continued breathing, letting the respiratory system catch up with the demand helps with removing that waste to prevent immediate cramping and muscle fatigue and soreness, or even later muscle fatigue. Also, to get the body cooled back down. If it's cold outside, you've warmed it up through exercise and you're about to go hop in a warm shower or steam room and you've got you have temperature issues, blood pressure issues, heart issues, the cool down will definitely make a problem be a much safer part of the workout. All right, so just some samples. These are from your book. Now the warm-up doesn't necessarily have to be the same mode, but it does help to warm up in a similar mode. If you're going to sprint for your workout, jogging, walking are great warm-up exercises. You can, like I said, you can do the same thing, but you want to do it definitely at a lower intensity than is the goal for the conditioning phase.